Jersey, JJ, notice those clean pits. Don't pick on a man's pits. Fam, guess who the GM is tonight? I started to put like a clone of me on a dual screen like we like to do, but then I said, would you stop messing with people? So I didn't do that, fam, Appreciate you joining me tonight. And also remember, do not hold back on this dude. If I am not a good GM, go to the Ronbo Sports app and say, Ronbo, you know what? You suck as a GM. We don't mind talking to you, but stay the hell up out of Santa Clara. And I don't fully understand. But if you think otherwise, go ahead and vote yes in the box that says Ronbo would make a fine GM. I mean, you're a good campaign and promoting. Fam, you know what? I got a lot I want to talk to you about between now and the end of the evening, man. I'm going to do the draft with you like I promised I would do. And then afterward, we can talk about this is so much fun. It's the night before, fam. It's the night before the draft. Ah, God, it's making me nuts. We do have to stay calm, though. Oh, are we, Big Show's already fired me. Show. I came in with my application in hand and I wanted to fill it out. She's not even going to let me fill it out. My God, what kind of fairness is that? Fam, without any further ado, let's get right into the action. The 2019 draft. Roger Goodell has already came up to the podium and got his traditional boo, boo. Somebody tried to say they were saying goo. No, they're not. No. Roger gets booed each and every year as soon as he walks out there. And Roger, Goodell doesn't care anymore. He walks right out and acts like he doesn't hear it. Yes. Hey, all right, fam. Let me start right now. 49ers are on the clock with the number one pick. 49ers select Nick Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State. I'm telling you right now, because I ain't no point in me faking it. You know what I mean? We've all talked about this situation for the last few days. I've been listening. I've been saying, but you know what? That fool can play some football, man. I just want him coming off my edge next to. I want him coming off the other side opposite of D Ford and just annihilating quarterbacks. Buckner's got all the help he needs now coming up the middle. I'm telling you right now, I just know it's going to be a devastating combo. He is the most finished product coming out of school. And when Kasur and Kiffin get through with him, he's liable to take it to the next level. I cannot pass on that kind of talent. 266, 6'4", and I'm telling you right now, he's going to be a menacing thing coming off the edge. Whew. I don't know which is worse, though. Kyler Murray over on the other side of this draft is not a good thing. But you know what? I can tell you, fam. You know what? Honestly, let me say this about one of the things being said. I get it. Nick has hit like on too many things he should not be hitting like on. I looked down through there to try to find some times, and he commented back. He didn't. It's something that I do myself. I don't know if you do it or not. Do you ever go down through your friends and just hit like? You may glance at it, but you don't really. I don't do that to everybody. I just, I read most of my comments, but I do hit like on occasion. If I'm in a hurry, I don't want anybody to think that I didn't appreciate that they sent or wrote anything on Instagram, especially. I don't want anybody to think that I'm ignoring them, right? Because, there will be times that I have more time to talk, and there will be times that I won't. So make sure everybody knows I'm liking you. Come on, yeah. So I have a feeling. Nick has made some statements that were inflammatory towards certain people. I do think he's not making blanket statements. He's not shooting toward an entire race. He does have his own personal opinions. He's one of them opinionated dudes that goes a little too far probably for a lot of people's tastes. I understand that and I get that. See, I've been around those kind of guys all my life, and that's why I maybe should be more tolerant than I should be. But I do, when dudes step too far to line with me, and because I'm a nice, easygoing guy, I do let them know, though. So, Nick maybe would have probably crossed the line with me a couple times. I probably would have told him, back up with that. Dude, are you serious type of thing? But the fact of the matter is, and people are getting on me about this, too, he's been around black athletes all his life. Some of the things he's learned is probably come from a black athlete. I'm going to tell you something else, too. Larry Johnson, defensive line coach at Ohio State, alluded to Bosa's background for the reason he fit in so well with teammates of every background. His meatheadedness, it doesn't necessarily reflect who he really is. Yeah, the coach goes on to say, I think that the reason he can cross over any gender, any race, because he's dealt with all of that at such a young age. And I've seen those photos. I've seen the film. Johnson told NBC Sports Area, you talk about a guy who doesn't see color. That's Nick Bosa. He doesn't see color. He sees people. He sees what's good in people. Here's another thing, too, about Nick. Nick has already met up with John Lynch and the guys, and he likes them really. He says he already feels like family. Nick's going to come in, and I'm sure if there's any question in that locker room or amongst anybody, I'm almost positive he'll address it and say, guys, you know what? We from here are brothers on our way to the next title. And if any for 1 minute you see me stepping out of line, if you feel uncomfortable around me, please bring it to me. Let's talk about it. We are one. He's one of those kind of dudes. I can feel it. You know, I'm also the guy, though, that said I'd take Richie Incognito on my team, but only because, as I say, I don't have a hate bone in me unless I really sense something vicious in somebody. If Richie Cognito is a sick man, but I know he's going to do his best to make sure that your quarterback is safe. I don't have to hang out with him. I know he's got some things I don't want to hear. I just want him to come out and play football with me. On the football field, I consider society and the rest of the world here. I consider football here. If you could come in and you could fit in this circle and play football next to me, it's just like being on an army battlefield. We may come from two different backgrounds. We may hate the two different things. But if we're fighting together to save each other's life, you are my best friend that entire time. It's the way I feel about it, fam. I've got to stay with what I feel. Bosa, number one. He takes us where we want to go. Hey, let me get to round two. Here's another thing, too. It was the second pick, number 36. A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Ole Miss. I know. Everybody says, hey, no way in hell he's going to be there in the second pick. Go down through the draft. There's going to be some things that happen. I figure there's going to be 5 quarterbacks taken. Now the Giants are throwing their hat in the ring. They like the kid from Duke. The Washington Redskins are most likely going to pull. That's 3. Kyler Murray's gone. That's 1. The kid, what's his name? Wait a minute. Is what's it, Luke? There's another guy. I don't think he's from Duke. Anyway, 4 to 5 quarterbacks I think will go in the first round. So from there you got 20-something. Now there's about 10 or 15. You're not gonna get an edge rusher in the second round. From what I can see now, everybody wants an edge rusher. So I'm looking down through there and I see Font and Hawkinson taking up a space. I see DK Metcalf probably going off the board first because everybody doesn't insist you be able to run routes, right? So, I do see it's possible it'll be in Keel Harry or maybe A.J. Brown. I don't think Belichick wants him. He wants his Hawkinson or a tight end. They do need wide receivers in New England. That's your last shot. Beyond that, we could have a big choice of wide receivers going to the second round. We're right around the top of the order where we might be able to pull that. A lot of people are going to go for offensive linemen. It's a small possibility. If you did your stats when you were a kid, probability rate is probably not that high, but I'm going to go with A.J. Brown in the second round. See what I did there? A.J. Brown in the second round. Oh, A.J., you'd be our possession receiver. I can feel it. God, you'd be good. Jerry Rice loves him. We must be a way to get that boy. I didn't, how I've been telling people I don't want to draft down. I want to get with the top picks in every round. We got our brains beat out for a reason. Our reward is to get the best of the best top choice picks, and that's just what I want to do, right? But I have thought about trading back into the first round. But I said, you know what? I'm going to stick to my policy, so it'll be called, oh, man, come on, man, you be waffling back and forth. Round 3, I'm going with Connor McGovern, guard, center, Penn State. You know, Connor was there last year when Saquon Barkley was running like crazy, and as I read on him, Connor is one of the reasons why Saquon did so well. McGlinchey is one of the reasons why our run game did very well last year, and Joe Staley. And to a large degree, Laken Tomlinson, who's a better run blocker than he is a pass protector. We have a lot of guys like that. Now, guard center, actually, I do hope, by God, I hope they can get Joshua Garnett in most of it, because if they can, that is one road grading. Mauling dude, but he can't stay healthy. So, we got Persons over there, and Persons does a good job. He doesn't do the best job. Between the two, I do think that Joshua Garnett would be the better, but they're going to go ahead and stick with Persons, I'm sure, and Garnett's going to have to come in there and take that jump. The middle of the lineup is what's the problem, you know? I don't know, Weston Richburg scares me to death. Anyway, that's why I pick up guard center Penn State, Connor McGovern, 308 pounds. He's right around that size. You can move at 6'5", 308. I figured Kyle's going to like this guy. He'll probably say, okay, you know what, he doesn't need to start, but I can definitely groom him up and get him ready between now and next year. And possibly this year if things don't work out in our front line. And you need depth in the offensive line of quality as you can get it. So third-round pick, that's about as low as I'm going to go in an offensive line. And anything after that is probably a question mark and something you're bringing back home just to throw in the garbage after you get through using it during camp. I don't want to do that if I can avoid that. Well, you know, one more thing I want to know about the Bosa situation, though, I just want to mention. There's a very elaborate, organized character assassination campaign going on. I want to know if that is the friggin' Raiders, because you know what? Why wasn't all this stuff brought up into the magnifying glass before now? I have a feeling some team I hate is behind that whole camp. Okay, well, let's skip it there later. All right. CB, thanks, fam. Big, badass Bosa. That's what I'm talking about. That dude can play, man. I got to have him. Round 4, pick number 104. I'm going with Chase Hansen, outside linebacker safety from Utah. He's 6'3", 2. You know what? Here's the thing why I'm picking Chase. I watched film on him for a little while, and he is a safety. He's got the size. We need to bulk him up some. I'm hoping he can go up about 20 pounds at least. This way, I do not have to be concerned with Malcolm Smith over to Sam. I'm going to put him right over there because that's what he is. They call him an OLB, but he's really... You're not going to put him on the edge. He doesn't have enough butt for that. But at the Sam, he's got coverage skills. Good ones, in fact. Good instincts. You watch the film, he's not going to get fooled on a lot of plays. Put him at the Sam. I do want an OLB for the Sam. Okay. Because you know what? Because the rest of the guys would work even better. You could alternate them back between the Sam and the front line defense. They're all going to be gone in the first round. Linebackers and edge rushers are a premium this year. So, yeah. Round 6, I'm going to go ahead and go with Michael Jackson, cornerback from Miami. The secondary does need, if nothing else, you got to make sure that secondary has some depth in it. Now, I don't know if the 49ers are going to go for a safety. As I've said, my theory is the 49ers have piled up so many safeties, they're afraid if they go ahead and get another safety, they've admitted that that they failed in their efforts to get a safety by drafting all those guys that they did. Quarterback situation, another story. You got 2 veterans and a man in the position to start the season. If they go down, you're bringing in kids that are not really veterans yet. Kello's got 2 years in, so I guess he may be. You got other side, who you got? You got Tavarius Moore. I'm not sure about Tavarius yet. Somebody said his hips are too tight. He should go back to his natural position of safety. That could be true. We'll see. Tavarius has got some things to prove. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Michael Jackson, part of the trio of Sheldrick Red Wine and safety Jaquan Johnson. Them boys was killing it at the U. So I says, you know what? And Michael was like, the best one of that bunch, wasn't he? Celtic Red Wine was pretty good. But I think Michael might 6'1", 210. He fits the requirements. If he's available, because he can go anywhere from 4 to 6. If he's still around in the 6th round, I'd be the guy to go for. 42 tackles with 6 passes broken up. There's mixed reviews on Jackson, though. Some projected him as an early round pick, 3, 2, 3, 4. But some team sources have graded him well on the 3rd day of the 2019 NFL Draft. Jackson was only in his first year starting for the Hurricanes in 2017, and there was talk about him entering the 2018 NFL Draft. In 2017, he totaled 4 interceptions and 5 passes broken up at 43 tackles. At that particular point in his little young life, that is not bad. We'll see. And my final round 6 pick at number 212, I'm going to get him, boy, because the boy is crazy. He's a little undersized, but his name is Sutton Smith from Northern Illinois. Watching him play football is pure entertainment. I look at him, I say, he does not give a damn about who's in front of him, does he? You can try to block him all you want to. This kid goes 6 foot, he's 234 pounds. If you step in front of him, I don't care how much you outsize him. He's that guy that fits the credo of it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the dog. It's the size of the fight in the dog. That's Sutton Smith. He's out of his mind. If nothing else, I bring Sutton Smith in. He plays on my special teams. I keep an eye on him. And every now and then, I'm going to sneak him in on a pass down to see if he survives. You can't get enough pass rushers. Sutton Smith has got that mentality where he doesn't really concern himself with his health or safety. He could do very well in the NFL. Somebody told me about Sutton Smith a few weeks ago, and I know what they was talking about. And then I went and watched his film. Okay, I get it. Yeah, he's out of his mind, ain't he? Okay, I'll take him. So Sutton Smith is my guy and my final pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, leading to the 49er dynasty. Coming up, starting right now. Give me my picks from the top. First round pick, Nick Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State. My second round pick at number 36, wide receiver, A.J. Brown, Ole Miss, part of the NWO. And my third round pick at number 67, guard center, Connor McGovern, Penn State. One of the reasons why Saquon Barkley is famous. Fourth round pick, outside linebacker, Chase Hansen. He could be the saver from Utah that's going to relieve us of Malcolm Smith. Oh, God, please, we've got to do something about Malcolm Smith. And my sixth round pick, we've only got 2. Michael Jackson, cornerback, the U. And sixth round pick number 2, outside linebacker, Sutton. I'm out of my mind, Smith, because nobody told me how small I am. Get out of the way, from Northern Illinois, to round off the 2019 draft picks for the San Francisco 49ers. Here we come. I think we got all we need. Look out, NFC West. And NFL, we're coming to get you. Belichick, you've been put on alert. Ha! Hey, Pam, if there's any questions, I don't know if we had a chance to get to them or not, but Adam Garcia, what's up, fam? Adam Garcia, what's out? Number 1, Josh Allen. 2, Jalen Ferguson. 3, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. It could be. It just could be. I do like Arcega-Whiteside. And Arcega-Whiteside, he will be available in round 2. So, and Big Show says we're already spending $43 million in cap money on 4 D linemen. No way we're drafting another lineman. Could be, Show. Could be. I highly doubt it, though. It's a real serious lead we've had since 2014. And you know what? I got a feeling cost is not going to be an issue. Fix this and fix it now. You're not going to get a Nick Bosa every year. Some of the other guys we're seeing, you're probably going to get those next year. But certain players could be generational talents. I got a feeling that's what we're looking at. Antonio McCoy says, you know who Bosa's great-grandfather is? Real mafia hitman, Al Capone's bodyguard. Yeah, I heard about that story. Scary stuff. That's where the viciousness could come from, because this is a DNA thing with that group, And I'm not just saying that, and that's not a racist remark, but his father was pretty much a beast till he got hurt. Joey is having no trouble in the NFL, and they say Nick's better than Joey? I got to see this. I really do. Big Ronzo says, hey, Ronbo, I'm here at work at SAP Center now. How about a shout-out? Big Ronzo! Sup? He says, hey, and Michael Catanzara? Michael Catanzara. What about a punter or a kicker in the 6th round, or trade Robbie Gould for an extra draft pick so we can get a kicker? You know what? I thought about that. I really did. I was going to pick up Cole in the 6th round. I'm figuring. See, we have a special teams problem. Not only Robbie hesitating and pretending like he's not going to come. I figured with the kicker, Kyle's already called his man, Matt Ryan, and put him on emergency. I mean, he got him there right on his favorites, right? If he didn't already. I mean, I already seen the phone call. Yeah, Matt, listen. No, I'm doing fine. I just, oh, yeah, okay, you know what I'm calling you for. Okay. Yeah, I could be calling you up anytime. So go ahead and get yourself in shape and get some kicks in, and I could be getting back to you anytime soon. And the Vogel dude, man, come on, man. The dude is like a temporary thing. Okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about that a little later on anyway. Jordan Parra, thanks, fam. He says, are you concerned with Gold's attitude going into next season? I'm very concerned about it. I just don't know how to address it. I didn't want to use any one of the 6 picks. We don't have enough picks. If we had 7, 8, or 9, or 10 picks, you could experiment with a pick. You can go after players that maybe are marginal, as the 49ers have done the first 2 years. You can fool around, but when you only got 6 picks, you better you better try to hit a home run with each and every one of them, right? But I am definitely worried about that. I thought we had one more, didn't we? With our 6. Well, I mean, a little bit, you've been lifted. Yeah, you gotta keep it coming some kind of shape. You never know when you gotta knock a dude out, Hey, you can call in, and also you can vote in the app. Phone and PIN number should be there for you. And KD216 question: Who did you really pick? BO? I'm not sure about this question, KD. Who did you really pick? BO. No, I can't figure that one out. Horatio said, question, Bosa or Williams, and why? Williams, you know what? I really, really wish we could pick up Williams. But not that it's a redundant pick, but as much as it is, there's an army at the inside. I just looked at the numbers, and maybe none of the guys inside are as good as Williams. But then I weighed also the question, what do you have the most of, and what do you have the biggest need for? Because Buckner, anybody next to Buckner is going to do fine now that he's got edges coming off to either side. Buckner's whole thing was you could actually take him out of the picture because there's nothing coming from the edges. If I got Bosa on one side and I got D4 on the other side, there's plenty coming from the edges now. And you got to play Buckner honestly. If I put Armstead on anywhere in there, if I put, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Solomon Thomas, but I put Contavious Street. Anybody if I put DJ Jones ideally in the middle, Jones is going to draw blockers. The outside edges are going to come crashing in. They've got to let Buck go. Now I've got 3 bombs coming at that quarterback at the same time. This is what I ideally think would work. I really wish Quentin was. If this was not the same year, I really wish, if Quentin was just the year last year or this next. No, last year we had the same problem. If Quentin was next year, I'd take him in a heartbeat. But he's not. So as I say, I look at priorities and I says it's a sacrifice. Quentin Williams, a hell of a ball player. I really wish we could get him. And we might still. Listen, here's the thing. If the Cardinals do pull a shock and take Nick at number one, they will grab Quentin so fast. They won't care at that point. They will grab Quentin so fast it'll make a head spin. Or they'll trade down because they'll have Kyler Murray, and that'll be all the picks that they'll get plenty of picks then. Well, at least 3. Yeah, they'll get at least 3 or 4. It depends on who calls up. So, and the Raiders would have to seriously consider dealing with the 49ers. And I don't know if you know it or not. Some people think that the 49ers are still going to do a big deal with the Raiders and the Giants. I don't see it happening. But the Raiders would have to bend their principles and come get some. Because I do think that Madman Gruden, I think he wants Murray. But the thing is, if he wants Murray, he's going to get Murray now or yesterday, right? Because he's already going to make that deal with the Cardinals right now. He's not going to wait till the last minute. They're the first ones on the clock. If you want the number 1 pick, you go get that now. So the way things are falling into place, I do not see Kyler Murray going anywhere else. And also the state of Arizona is going to be pissed if they don't. Anyway, that's why Bosa Williams. Not because Williams is a lesser talent than Bosa. He's not. He really isn't. It's because I don't think. Anyway. Because hey, Lee, come on in, man.
Hey, what up, Ronbo?
Lee, man, I just finishing up my debacle. But wait, what is your question?
Oh, yeah, we're doing questions for your mock draft?
Yeah, no, we'll do doing the regular show in about 10, 15 minutes. Actually, you're gonna get questions, so get on back in here then, okay? Yeah, you're just gonna come in and.
I really like your picks. Especially your first 2, Bosa and AJ Brown. Those are 2 picks I'd probably make too. So, for question, I'll probably why would you take Connor McGovern in the 3rd over a guy like say Darnell Savage?
My theory is it's a make or break year for that safety group. There's going to be safeties next year. I got 29 safeties. I'm already going to have to cut a bunch. To add another one is a risk, I think, because what if he comes in and he gets beaten out by Jimmy Ward? What if he gets beaten out by guys that have been there for a while, also Adrian Colbert? What if these guys put him 3rd or 4th? He may still be a talent that I'd keep, but at the same time, if I'm going to go through all that, let me go ahead and get that offensive lineman because that is a bigger need. You know what I mean? That's just a measure of sacrifice of pick. I'd love to have Savage. I'd love to have also the kid from Virginia, but, man, it was just a matter of what are you going to do here as far as choices go. Yeah. I want this, I want this.
Because if you look at it, people will say safety and O-line and guard are both big needs, but we've probably got more depth at safety, even though people, they question Colbert and Jimmy Ward. But then you've also got maybe Tavares Small. You could move to free safety. So, I give you completely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So many safeties. We got 2 or 3 guys we could put in the box, X them. You can even bring Kwasky T can actually play the top as well. He's proven that. You got Marcel Harris. We've just got so many safeties. Maybe they thin that herd out this year, and next year we'll have maybe 2 or 3 needs because the holes are getting smaller and smaller, right? So you figure next year, now you can focus on the best that there is and maybe even trade up to get it, So that's what I was thinking there.
And I'm not too worried about the strong safety position with Harris and top. I think they should cover that position. It's more so the free safety that I'm super high. But,
worried about it too.
Thanks, Ronbo. I look forward to the next part of the show.
All right.
Shout out to all the Niners coming to the draft day tomorrow.
Thanks, Lee. See you in a bit. All right. All right. And Daniel, that's your 49ers 5249. Thanks, fam. It's a night draft. You're hired. Side trade Boston and Matt Bryant. After draft, trade Cryberry Golding for best pick possible. He's not a grown man. Listen, fam, I got to tell you, that is a possibility. I'm hearing rumors. I read a couple of rumors. 2 different sites. Anytime I read rumors and I see 2 different sites being utilized, Solomon Thomas, I saw that twice. The Panthers. What's the other one? When I read that, though, I thought about, okay, I guess because they figure Armstead's going to, Kasurik may have given him whatever evaluation he gave the 49ers, because he was supposed to be going over film. He was supposed to come back with a verdict as to if Solomon Thomas has a future with the 49ers or not. I want to see him get another shot, but I'm not sure what's happening next. NFC West Nemesis says, love you, Ronbo. Disagree with all picks. Make a deal, I donate 50 for each pick you get right. I get a 49ers shout out for the other ones I get right. Is there something below that? Because you listen, okay. Of course, you got a deal. You have to get him on 50 because I got to feel that I'm dead right on Bosa coming in the first round, but I don't want to get paid for that. I just want Bosa to come in, show that he can be a good citizen, and like he said, he's going to keep his personal opinions to himself, especially when they could be inflammatory. We all entertain thoughts that we probably piss other people off with. I know misogynists that are often sticking their foot in their mouth, but I know they have all the respect in the world for women. You just have a lot of guys that, I don't know, something's wrong. I don't see him, Bosa's being a racist. That's one of the reasons why I stepped around that. And I looked at him as a football player. I said, yeah, I'll take this guy. He's an idiot, but I'll take him. And Jim Thorkinson says, you didn't pick Quentin Williams because you don't trust dudes who order garden omelets. and at least, if he did order a garden omelet, have some bacon brought in on the side, man. Come on now. And Horatio Flores says, question, can't you put Q Williams as an edge rusher and draft him? I just don't know if that's his strong suit. Now, he says he can do it, but I'd rather put him on the inside where he could really be at home. And what I was really working around with Q as well is, now he did well in the college ranks next to, I'd rather see him get that 3 spot. But you've already got DeForest Buckner there now. I don't want him sitting there absorbing blocks. I have a feeling he can handle it, but I don't want him next to Buckner absorbing those blocks. I want him in a position where he can excel. You could probably put him at the big end, but I think he's probably best suited in Buckner's spot. I could be wrong. He could have came in and proved me and everybody else who thinks that way wrong. But Q is an outstanding football player. And listen, the 49ers might still get Q. But wait a minute, they picked up DeForest Buckner's 5th-year option. No, it's out. There were some thoughts in some people's minds that they were going to bring in Q so they wouldn't have to pay DeForest Buckner. I thought that was a little bit chicken poo-poo to think that way. You bring this kid along, Buckner, you spend a lot of time and effort into developing him as a football player, and then just because you don't want to pay him, you bring in another rookie. I mean, I don't know if even Belichick has that kind of shame. No. Belichick does have that kind of shame. He would let DeForest Buckner go in a heartbeat and bring in Quentin Williams. And because Belichick's got a rotation going on where he doesn't want to worry about anybody being paid in his second contracts. He keeps them young and hungry all through their career. Hey, Nighthawk, you got a question. Nighthawk did not go to sleep. Nighthawk! Anyway, Jerry Fresh, why did you think that Seattle would trade us Clark? but the greedy Raiders wouldn't trade us to move up to the draft. You know what? Something about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll gave us a draft pick to get Reuben Foster, but that may have been by design. Carroll probably knew Reuben Foster had issues. That's why he set us up. So with Seattle, I could see the Raiders have already proven beyond the shadow of any doubt that they want nothing to do with the 49ers. Now, John Lynch didn't know the history between the 49ers and the Raiders, so he went over there, poor naive soul, trying to get Amari Cooper. Boom! No! He went over there and offered, I understand they offered more for Khalil Mack than the Chicago Bears. Raiders, no! I said, John doesn't know. They're never going to deal with him. And I feel bad because I said, the Giants, same thing. Tradition. The Giants, they didn't even tell the 49ers they made that trade to Cleveland. They didn't want to hear a counteroffer, and the 49ers were ready to give one. No. There are certain teams. You know what we do our best deals with, and most often, if you notice? Kansas City. Kansas City often. Couple other teams. We did a little thing with Seattle. I need to go back down. I'm trying to think but look back at history and see how many times we dealt with the Giants and Raiders. That's not something that I see changing unless, a miracle could happen tomorrow. But these are not teams that communicate or get along well. The Raiders probably are sick of us dominating after 5 trophies. They got 3. We passed them up after they got that 3-trophy head start on us. Jeff Tam believes the Niners are shopping Armstead and Thomas. I said the Niners shopping Armstead and Thomas. I heard. True or not? I've only seen Thomas on a couple of sites. With Armstead, I have a feeling they wouldn't have picked up his option had they planned on just picking up his option to trade him. I'm just going by rationale. I think they saw what they liked in him last year. As they say, they saw improvement. They say he played 16 games. He was like the second best defender on the line. So I figured the 49ers are going to give him another shot. A first-round pick, you don't get rid of him that fast. Now, with Thomas, as I said earlier, it could be that Kasurik said the wrong thing in his evaluation about Thomas. Because maybe there's, because even on the way too early depth chart, Thomas is ranked behind Armstead. If they were going to get rid of Armstead, they probably would have ranked Thomas ahead of him, and then you see Armstead's name on the list of people they might want to trade. And quite frankly, they could probably get a deal for Armstead a lot faster than they could for Thomas. So if they're going to make a deal, they probably should go with Armstead if you want to trade somebody, get something back of value. I don't know if anybody is going to trade up for Thomas. Much like Vance McDonald, a year the 49ers tried to get rid of him on draft night and couldn't get any buyers. They got rid. Didn't they get rid of Vance a little later? The Steelers picked him up later, I think, because they didn't want to go draft picks or something or trade. I forgot we got a draft. We did get a draft pick, I think, though. NFC West, that says it's a friendly 49er bet with Ronbo. I am poor also. In other words, when a Ronbo sport. I don't give me, no, we're not going to give. What if I get 2 or 3 right? That'd be $150. No, forget about it. I'd never do that to a. I never did that by Niner fam. These are all friendly things to do. And your donations come to you, which I appreciate it. I'll never, ever ask for one. If you want to give it, I appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. But, these are things I'm not going to do. Anyway, because as I tell everybody, when people say, thank you what you do, Ronbo, I'm mad. It's my pleasure to come out and hang out with the 49er fam. Love talking football. The Max says, how would you feel if we took Quentin over Bosa? If they're both sitting there too? Not a problem. Because I would figure the 49ers have a plan. I mean, they know what they're doing. I trust Lynch and Peters and the guys. I do. So they pick up Quentin Williams, bring him, and I tell you what, everybody needs to go down there with a garden salad omelet, say, Quentin, welcome to the city. Hell yeah. Got no problem with that. You can't go wrong, and I tell you what, I do see John Allen being a little more training for a little while longer because the NFL is going to hit it pretty hard when he gets in. He'll be okay because he learns fast. In fact, if we picked up Allen, I'd go ahead and I'd leave the front line and I'd put Malcolm Smith. He'd be out of here so quick. I'll put Allen at my Sam until I get him up to speed. If anything happens to any of my front line guys on the rush, and eventually I'd move Allen up to the front line as well to play opposite of D Ford as well. This is why I say the product is already a finished product as far as segueing smoothly into the NFL is Nick Bosa. That's the only reason why I'm going in that direction as far as edge rushers. Allen's going to take a little work. We'll see that in the weeks and months ahead to go, what I'm talking about and what other people think. But he's going to be a good football player, make no bones about it. We get him. There's no reason to get upset about that either because he is clay, ready to be formed. All right? And Jim Thorkel says, is this area where you see us taking Josh Allen, I just said, as a surprise pick, or Devin White? I don't see Devin White. Because you got Quan. There's if you're gonna pick up Devin White in the first round, you need to use him, right? Because Devin White is like, it's a way you don't want to. Who are you gonna get rid of? You could have him as backup, but it's a first round pick. You gotta be careful with the first round pick. If you're picking up anybody in a first round pick, you should be thinking about using them. Otherwise, don't use a first round pick for him unless you traded way down. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to have Devin White. Man's a monster. These are the things that you go through each and every year with the draft. You want so many players, but you can't have them all. You want to draft the best player available in each round if you're not trading down or up. And who is that? Well, that's why in round 1, I figure it's Nick. And you're not going to get Devin in round 2. If you could, boy, in a heartbeat. There's so many guys you get in a heartbeat in the second round, but maybe not because you still need that wide receiver in the second round. Oh, the draft is really difficult. Jerry Fresh says, what's the itinerary for tomorrow night? What time does the show start? You live streaming? I have to tell you, man, as soon as that draft is, what we got, 5 o'clock start for the West? As soon as that draft gets away, I'm sitting there screaming and hollering, man, because I'm sitting there, this is why it's good to shave your hair, because this way you're going to be pulling hair out. I might be biting nails off and stuff like that, boy, because as soon as you hear Goodell walk out, the 2019 NFL Draft is underway. Boo! You got to boo Goodell, man. Woo, man! We got 15 minutes from the start of that draft to find out what happens. NFC West Emerson says, NFL Network consensus number 2, steal of the draft, Jay Shea, Arcega, Whiteside. They could do it too. Arcega Whiteside, as I said, he is a more athletic and talented. I look at him like, you look at Garrett Selleck is always running around open. Whiteside, every time you look at clips, he's always running free, and apparently he must have deceptive speed. He's got good moves, apparently. He must run around really well. You seen that quarterback just hit him in stride? He's got a gap between him and the defender, and I do not believe every defender is too slow. So he must be fast. So, yeah, he would be a steal. I was thinking Whiteside in a second, 6'4", something like that. I ain't gonna cry about that. I like AJ because of his hey, we got Night Hawk. Hey, Night Hawk.
Hey, what's up?
Night Hawk, man, you got a question, man? This is like the draft. This particular segment. We're gonna be back on in a little while for a conversation. So you got a question about the draft?
Yeah, I have a question.
All right, go ahead, Night Hawk.
Yeah, I do have. Yo, what happened if Cardinals take Bosa?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Because the thing is, Nighthawk, we now have the rights, or a team that wants, I understand now what people talk about when they say, get the pick from the 49ers if you want a quarterback. The Cardinals would be putting the 49ers in beautiful position while not doing much for their own situation. Cardinals don't need any more defense. They need a hell of a lot of offense. So we would be in a position to get that draft pick. Now here they come to us. So we can't lose in this situation. If they do that.
I got one more question.
Right.
What kind of receiver do you want?
What kind of receiver? Kyle Shanahan has taught me a lot, Night Hawk, since he's been here. Route running and hands are definitely seriously needed. You don't need to be 6'4", 6'5", whatever all that is, because a lot of those guys can't get no separation, and they're about 50-50 catches and out athletic playing the defender. I want a guy that can bust out separation. If I could get 3 or 4 Dante Pettises on my team, that's what I would have. They'd all be 6 to 6'1" with impossible to cover. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I have to say. But I'll call you back in the later on.
All right, Nat Hawk. Be looking for you, fam. Oh man. And what we got? Jay Fresh? Oh yeah. Jux 317. What if Bosa and Williams are still there in the pick as Allen? And will I be shocked? Yeah. That would surprise me. But you know what? It would only surprise me for a split second. Because I would figure the 49ers have looked at the situation like I just got through saying a minute ago. Allen's going to take a little coaching. You put him at the Sam for a while. Coach him up. I got D Ford and Buckner, and I figure you're gonna have. I really do. I know everybody thinks this is crazy. I really do think Eric Armstead has a breakout year this year, unlike what we've seen last year. As he said, they're going to stop experimenting with me. I know what I'm going to do right now before the season starts. My job is going to be one job and one job only. I'm going to be at the big end, and I will. And he said a lot of things like, whoa, look at you. You know, so Armstead on the outside, opposite of D Ford. This could be special. We'll see. But, yeah. And you bring in, as I say, wow. You bring him in, you put him at the Sam for a while until he can take Armstead out. Yeah, I can't get mad at that because I got rid of Malcolm Smith and I got a backup for any one of my edge guys after hopefully it only takes a few weeks maybe. It'll probably take a year, but after that, we'll see. All right, you get that next to. Is that it on the questions? All right. Fam, hey, go in there and beat me up on that voting poll. I even gave you the description. But otherwise, here's what we'll do. We're gonna shut down here. Appreciate your time, fam. And good luck to everybody's favorite pick. I ain't saying why it's gotta happen. Yours could happen. And if it does, I'll support it all the way, baby. And I'll see you in just a few minutes. Don't forget to like. Don't worry about it. Hit the like. I've seen a few.